What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another very exciting episode right here on the MIgardener channel. Today, I'm especially excited for today's episode because we're going to be stringing up some tomatoes. So for those of you that don't know why this tomato plant is so important to not only me, but also this channel, I'd recommend going and checking out a video that we did about a year and a half ago, where we brought 87-year-old tomato seeds back to life. This was an extinct variety of tomato that we found in a shadow box that was over 87 years old. And what happened was, it was actually used as decoration. And we got it from an antique dealer that had no intention of ever opening it up. They were simply using it as an antique prop for display. And instead we bought it for the seeds inside the packets. And what happened was we got 4 varieties of vegetables, and none of them sprouted except for the tomato. Or actually the radish sprouted as well, but then subsequently died days later. But the tomato, we were able to get one to actually germinate to full sprout form, and about 3 others sprouted but died afterwards. And that's because the seeds were just so weak that they couldn't really fully germinate. But we did get one to germinate and then sprout. And what happened was we actually babied that, grew it out, then took clones from the cuttings that we got from the suckers, and then multiplied it so we had backups, and that produced fruit. And that was a whole series that we did about a year and a half ago, and it was such a fun journey to bring that plant back from the dead. Because if it was not for us finding that and sprouting the seeds, that variety, the giant crimson tomato, would be extinct. But because we were able to resurrect it, we got its genetics, we got the variety back here, and that's why we have it here today. So what we're going to do today is we're going to string them up. Now, for those of you that have never heard of this method, it is a terrific method for growing indeterminate variety tomatoes. Indeterminates will continue growing as long as the season allows, and so they'll grow to 7-8 feet tall. And often what happens is it exceeds the height of your support system. And we use just an 8-foot furring strip out in our garden. And often the tomato plants by the end of the season far exceed that, and then we have to trim them at the top. And many people don't even have that, so they use just either the dinky tomato cages, or they make their own tomato cages that are 4 or 5 feet tall. And it's no match for a strong indeterminate variety tomato. So stringing is a terrific method because it allows you to grow up a string. So essentially the height of the tomato is as high as your support is. This is commonly done in greenhouses where they have 15, 16 foot tall arches. And so what they can do is they can string a string from the very top arch all the way down to the tomato plant, basically meaning you can get a 16-foot tall tomato. So before we start stringing up our tomatoes, the first thing we need to do is we need to prepare the plant to be strung. What we really want to do is remove all of these suckers here. These suckers, obviously I'm going to save, but you can choose to save them or not. The reason why we are removing these suckers is because they are all new plants. They're going to be stealing energy from the main plant. They're also going to crowd airflow, and they're going to grow outwards and essentially make a bush, because that's how a tomato plant normally would grow. But we're going to train it to grow straight up. So we need to remove all these suckers. And suckers are just brand new plants that grow in between a leafing joint and the main growth tip here. So since this is the main growth tip, we're just going to continue following this up and removing any side shoots that we see. As you can see here, we do have some flowers. Not sure how well you can see that there, but we do have some flowers, and that is very, very, very exciting there. Okay, this one's a little bit crazier here. So we got some suckers we're going to take off here. It's a very, very healthy plant. And then you can see here, there's another really large sucker. This one's going to be a great plant to propagate. Just give them a little bend in both directions, and that is a gorgeous little plant there. So now we are good to go. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove some of these lower branches. The reason why we're going to remove some of these lower branches down here is because I don't want them at soil level. You always want to remove foliage up to the first set of flowers because it has a tendency to constrict airflow down here at the base of the plant, which is where most disease comes. So because I want them to be very disease-free, I'm going to remove about 7-8 inches, maybe up to a foot of flowers, but because, or a foot of leaves. but because there's not a whole lot of foliage yet, I don't want to do too much defoliating, so I'm going to just leave what there is here. Obviously, you see here another set of flowers, absolutely beautiful. When those open up, we will hand pollinate those to ensure that there is good pollination. But until that happens, we're going to just leave it. So, all right, we're ready to start stringing them up now. All right, so now we're just going to take some string and we're going to tie it to the top support here. I really like to use baler's twine. Baler's twine is just a super strong, very flexible string. It's not really thick and it can hold a fair amount of weight. So I like to say if you could hold about a 5 to 6 pound weight or about a gallon of water, that will support your plant. So what I like to do is give it a good tug and kind of just imagine feeling like you're trying to lift up a gallon of water. And because I'm putting a fair amount of weight on this string here, it's not snapping, we're good to go. Because the last thing you want is for the plant to get up 5-6 feet tall, for it to get really heavy with fruit, and then all of a sudden snap on you. So because if it snaps, it's going to fall right to the ground. It'll most likely snap a lot of your fruit. It'll probably even snap the tomato plant, and then it becomes a very difficult mess for you to clean up. So give it a really good tug, ensure that it's nice and tight, and you should be good to go. And then all we're going to do is really simple. Just bring the string down, just let it fall to the ground, and we're simply going to cut the string a little bit above soil level so that when the string is nice and tight, it's about 2 inches. It's about 2 inches above soil level here. And then all we're going to do is we're going to take these amazing little tomato clips. These are my best friend in the garden. I love them for stringing up tomatoes as well as things like cucumbers, anything that needs a little bit of support that you can clip it around. And you can actually find these on MIgardener.com. We sell these by the bundle, and they sell in a bundle of 10, super cheap, really easy to use. All we do, just for an example here, is we take the hinge and we put that right into the string and then clip it. And that way, let's do that again. And that way, when you clip it nice and tight, it's attached to the string and it doesn't move up or down. You just got to make sure that it's in the hinge nice and well, and then when it clips, it'll just hold on and pinch that string there so it doesn't move. So we're going to put it down here, put it into the string, and then we're going to put the rest of the loop around the tomato plant. And you always want to put it below a branching joint here, because if you put it above a branching joint, what will happen is as the weight of the tomato pulls down, it'll simply slide up the stem and you'll lose a lot of your slack. So right now the tomato plant is small, so there's not a whole lot of tension being put on it. But once the tomato plant is 4 or 5 feet tall and laden with fruit, you'll have a lot of weight on there. So there you go. There is a really simple way to string your tomatoes. I hope you all will give it a shot. We're talking about one of the fastest and most inexpensive ways to string your tomatoes, assuming you have the overhead support, obviously. But if you do, I'd recommend giving this a shot because we're talking like $3 in string, maybe $1 in clips, and you're good to go. I mean, why overcomplicate it? It just works, and it works so well. So make sure you give this a shot if you can. And let me know in the comments box below if you've tried this or plan on trying it and your thoughts on this. I personally see no reason to do any other way of stringing. If I've got the way to string it, I might as well. So I'd recommend giving it a shot. And also, if you have any friends that are out there that are growing tomatoes and you know they could use this information, make sure to share the link with them because I'm sure they'd love it as well. And one last thing I'll leave you with is if you're looking for a really good read, especially during the off season and you're trying to learn more about gardening, or you've had a garden and you wish you could garden better, make sure to check out the book I just published. I put 6.5 months of work and many, many years of gardening experiences into this book called The Autopilot Garden. It's 192 pages long, so it's a quick read, but it's not a bunch of filler. It's not, I'm not trying to fill the book up to make it a novel. I just want to get you the information. And so it's 192 pages of pure gardening information about helping you grow smarter, not harder. And also, it helps you to save money in the garden by excluding unnecessary steps and really just sticking to the essentials that are going to get you growing better, growing more food in less space, and also doing more of the things that you enjoy in the garden rather than working in the sun and sweating and busting your butt and breaking your back. You're actually going to spend more time with your family and harvesting because, believe it or not, people don't actually believe me when I say that in our garden combined, both of our gardens, I spend about 30 minutes a week in our garden, and it's over 5,000 square feet. So for 30 minutes a week, I'm really spending time basically watering, basic maintenance, and other than that, I spend most of the time enjoying it, harvesting from it, and just really getting to enjoy my garden. And so it becomes something that is actually an asset to me and something that I enjoy doing. And so I really would recommend giving the book a check out. You can get it right now over at our website. Also, you can find it at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target. You can find it there as well. But if you get it from us, you get an early bird special for the next 2 days, which is 10% off the price of the book. And also, every pre-ordered copy is hand autographed by myself. So it's just a way of saying thank you and a way of helping fund this channel and continue the mission of helping more people grow more food and helping them grow bigger, go home. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something new. As always, this is Luke from the MIgardener channel reminding you to grow big or go home. I'll catch you all later. See ya. Bye.